Well, hello again, and welcome to local church. It is great to see you guys out here, the 12 o'clock crowd. You're all well rested. I've been working all morning, I don't know about you guys, but well, we're so glad you're here. My name is Emily. If we haven't met before, I am just so glad to see you here. And if you looked up here and you saw this like TV and thought to yourself, Christmas already? I'm with you. All right, I'm a Christmas already person myself. I do not enjoy seeing Christmas before Thanksgiving. I just don't like it. I really don't like it when you go to the store and you've got like your Halloween decorations and your Christmas decorations. What's with that, you know? But if you've ever thought, if you looked at that and thought that, welcome to being an adult, okay? That is a very grown-up thought, Christmas already. Another one is, let me get through Thanksgiving first. Did anybody think that already when you saw that TV pop up? Like, we haven't even done Thanksgiving yet, you crazy church. What are you doing? Yeah, welcome to being an adult. That is literally adulting because no child ever said, let me get through Thanksgiving first, okay? If you are saying it's too early for Christmas, if you're getting 90% of your clothes at Costco, you did it. You are now an adult, all right? Those are the signs. I guess I'm the only one who shops at Costco and feels old about it. That's fine. Okay, cool. So I challenge you, if you're like me, okay, I am definitely a give me Thanksgiving before we talk about Christmas type person. I encourage you for today to just channel your inner child, like channel the person, the little child inside of you. I know I did that because this version of me would have never said Christmas already. Never, right? The child in us is always excited when Christmas comes. The child in us looked at Thanksgiving as just simply a checkpoint before Christmas. It was just like a sign that Christmas was coming. It wasn't as important as we make it out now. So anyway, that's happy me, just so excited about Christmas. Here's my very first Christmas. There I am. That's why I put that up there. I just wanted the Oz. Thank you, thank you. Anyway, my first Christmas, I mean, as a child, I remember all of my Christmases were full of wonder. There was so much like wonder and excitement wrapped up in it. Those guys are my older brothers, and when I was a kid, it was their job to make sure that I didn't see my parents putting up the Christmas tree, which for some crazy reason they did on Christmas Eve. Anybody else have that weird? Oh, okay. All right, it's not just my parents. I've been telling you guys this for years because it blows my mind that somebody would be that crazy. I'm sorry, the two of you who raised your hands, that you would decide to put the tree up on Christmas Eve is wild. So anyway, my brothers would like hold me hostage, and we'd watch Christmas movies until Christmas was up, and the next morning. And anyway, here's another one of my Christmas memories. I actually don't remember this at all, but I have no explanation for this photo. There is nothing I can say about this. Clearly, I'm wearing my matching Christmas pajamas. I'm smoking a rose. That is what's happening there. I don't know why, but I show you this to remind you of the child in you that loved Christmas. It was never too soon for Christmas. And for me, I love the holidays. And besides my impeccable sense of fashion, there's two other things that have never changed for me about Christmas. And the first is that I love seeing gifts underneath a tree. I love it. It's like the weirdest thing we do for a holiday, bring a dead tree inside the house and put stuff under it. But I never grow tired of it. I love seeing gifts under a tree. In fact, as soon as I had my first tree as an adult, I would wrap things just to put it under the tree because I love seeing presents under there. Does anybody wait until Christmas to put the gifts under the tree? I know, there's some of you out there. That's all right. I like to get them under there right away because I want to see them under there as long as possible. There's another group of us too. Does anybody leave the presents under the tree until you take the tree down? Yeah, me too. The boxes, the wrapping paper, it's all just piled up underneath the tree until the tree needs to come down because it's like the whole wonder of Christmas is seeing the gifts under the tree. Two gifts I remember as a child. Maybe you have yours. One was my Samantha American Girl doll. I remember the image in my head, coming downstairs and seeing it under the tree, in the little bed and the little clothes, and it was the most exciting day. And the other one is really random, but I really wanted a pogo stick one year. And I remember coming downstairs and seeing the pogo stick and being so glad that I got what I wanted for Christmas. Actually, I told my friend Ryan about the pogo stick, and he offered to go buy me one to show you my skills today. But I'm gonna make you wait for it, Can't give you everything all at once, so we'll see. One day, maybe I'll demonstrate my lack of pogo stick skills right here, break my leg in front of all of you. But anyway, the point is, we love seeing gifts on our tree. I know I do. I'm sure that many of you do as well. But as I've gotten older, the wonder and the joy of Christmas has shifted a little bit because it's become less about what I'm going to get, and it's become more about what I'm going to give. The other thing that's never changed for me about Christmas is that I love giving gifts. I love it. Even as a kid, I loved giving gifts. Do you remember the Scholastic Book Fair at school? And it would come around before Christmas, and you'd have a couple bucks and just buy whatever you could for the people you love the most, your mom, your sister, whatever. I love giving gifts. It's the best, especially when it's a good gift. Isn't that true? Aren't the best gifts to give the ones that are the best gifts? The one you thought about. Maybe it costs the most. Maybe it's just the most thoughtful, whatever it is. The best gift is so fun to give, especially when you get to watch somebody open it and you see their eyes light up and you see how excited they are to have that thing you thought so hard about. Love it. So I think that some of the best parts of Christmas come from giving the best gift. The best gift. And that's actually the title of today's message, The Best Gift. And if you were here last year, you might remember we talked about the best gift last year as well. This same time of year, we, as a church, decided that we were going to start thinking differently about the way we give our Christmas gifts. We did this together last year, and so today I'm going to kind of introduce the rest of you to the concept of the best gift and what it means for us to kind of just reevaluate our gift giving this year. Now, if you're feeling nervous, don't worry. This isn't about canceling Christmas and not giving any gifts, okay? I'm not that kind of person. It's just about thinking about who goes on the top of our list or who we should give gifts to. Now, if you are an organized person, you might have a Christmas shopping list. Does anybody have a Christmas gifting list, all the people you need to get gifts for? Yeah. We actually, again, this isn't a wish list. This is a things you need to give as gifts list, okay? My husband starts them, and he shares them with me on the iPhone. So, we have a note in our phones that has, a list of all the people, mom, dad, all our brothers, our friends, whatever. And then we make notes of what we might buy those people and check them off as we go. Now, if you're thinking, wow, she's so organized, you would be incorrect. I am not organized at all. That is my husband who is organized. And I went back in my phone to see if these lists are still there, and I could go all the way back to 2019 and tell you what gifts I bought for people that year because of my husband, who creates the most, it says all the people, what we bought them, how much it cost, everything is there in that note, right next to another shared note that says how to prepare for parties. I don't know, but that is being married to an organized person. Everything's in a list, and everything is organized. That's fine. But if you have a list like this, you might not even realize you're doing it, but you've probably broken down the list into these categories. At the very top of your list is your inner circle. The people that you love and care about the most go at the top of your list. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe if you're like Mike, it's your dog. Whatever it is, going at the top of your list, these are the people that you're probably going to open gifts with on Christmas morning. They're the people you're going to be in person, you're going to be sharing that holiday with, and you're really putting a lot of thought into what you're getting them. It's probably your most thoughtful gift. It might be a gift that required sacrifice, maybe you're skipping out on some Starbucks runs because you want to be able to get that special gift. That's your top category, the inner circle. Then you have the B team. The B team are really good friends, extended family, the day after Christmas people or the day, the Christmas party people where it's you really love these people, you want to give them things, but they're not prioritized at the top of your list. They're just secondary people on your list. No obligation to give to them, but you're glad to. You're really happy about it. And then you have your third category. These are the strategic relationships. These are the people you give to because it might benefit you in some way. All right? This is the gift you give to the guy who collects your garbage because You give them the $20 and you say Merry Christmas. And really what you're saying is, please don't judge me for all the things you saw this year, okay? Like, can we ignore all the things that were in my trash if I give you $20 for Christmas? That's a good thought. It's a strategic gift. It might be the gift you give to your kid's teacher. I don't have a kid, so it's the gift I give to my groomer, It's the gifts you give hoping that better thing, that you get something good out of it. It might be your boss at work. It might be me. I might be in your strategic relationships gift section because you're thinking, I better give her a gift because you never know when I need to have someone put in good word with the guy upstairs, it might be me. And then the last category is your obligatory exchanges. You don't want to give these. They're a little annoying. You don't even care what the gift is. It's just like where you show up at the holiday party for like the white elephant exchange and you just give something random and it's over. It's an obligation, no interest in it. If you were here last year, Mike really pretty much told everybody that he despises white elephant gift exchanges, doesn't enjoy Christmas parties that have them, told everybody that. And then, for some reason, we didn't get invited to any Christmas parties. Imagine that. Imagine that. Oh my goodness. I always say it's like a wonder we have friends. You guys know my husband. He's always talking about how introverted he is, how he gets such joy from doing nothing and missing out on everything. So I really do not know how we have friends. But regardless, that is being married to an introvert. So anyway, if you're looking at this list, again, we kind of all operate this way, if you've thought about it or not. Today, what I'm asking is for us to just consider adding someone to this list and maybe even adding somebody to the top of this list. It's just a suggestion. It's something to think about. And what I'm going to ask us to consider is putting God at the top of our Christmas shopping list. To consider giving God a Christmas gift. Have you thought about that before? If you haven't, please do not feel bad about that at all. I had never thought about giving God a Christmas gift until last year when we had this same exact message. We talked about this as a church, that it would be a good idea. Let's give God a Christmas gift. And it really was something that I'm excited to do again this year. So if you did this last year, awesome. I'm glad to talk more about this. But again, I want to kind of reintroduce this and remind us why we should put God at the top of our Christmas list. In addition to that, I want to talk about what God would even want as a Christmas gift. What does it even look like? What kind of gift is a gift for God? Now, before you start the moaning and groaning and regretting every decision that led you to a church that's talking about money today, okay, like the womp womp, why did I come here? I have 2 disclaimers to share with you regarding everything else I have to talk about today, all right? The first is, this is not about manipulating you to raise money for the church, okay? So let's just get that out there. That's not what this is. We're not here to manipulate you to raise money for the church, all right? In fact, if you do not feel comfortable giving here, we don't want you to. We want you to give somewhere that you trust, someplace that you love. It doesn't have to be here. But we are going to talk about generosity only because we think that when Jesus said he came to give us a rich and satisfying life, he knew that part of having a rich and satisfying life means being generous. It's just part of it. All right, so this isn't about manipulating you to do anything. It's just about offering you an opportunity to participate in generosity. So you're not going to see any sad pictures of dogs or hear some Celine Dion playing or anything like that. All right, that's not our style. It's not about that. The second disclaimer I have: this is not about shaming you for how much money you spend on Christmas. It's not, because to be honest with you, my favorite Christmas tradition these days is overspending, okay? I am super guilty of this, which is why you never find me eating out. I'm eating ramen the whole month of January because I overspent. It's part of it. I just expect it at this point. So I'm not here to shame you about how much money you spend. I'd be shaming myself, and I love that you are generous and want to give gifts to people. That's not what this is about. This is just about simply putting God on the list, deciding I want to give God a Christmas gift too, in addition to the other things that I give, the other people that I give gifts to. That's all. Now, the reason I'm asking you to consider this is because Christmas is all about Jesus, and Jesus is all about giving. All right, that's why I'm asking you to consider this, because Christmas is all about Jesus, and Jesus is all about giving. So I want to break these two sentences down a little bit. So first of all, Christmas is all about Jesus. If it's not for you, let's say for you, it's just not. It hasn't been about Jesus. You're new to this whole faith and church thing. You don't really think about Jesus on Christmas. That's okay. But what I'd like for you to know is that the Christmas would not exist without Jesus. It's the whole reason it's a holiday. It's the whole reason the thing exists is because of Jesus being born. And I think that the angels who came to announce Jesus' birth said it best. These angels, the very first Christmas morning, these angels appear to these shepherds in a field, and they share the news about Jesus coming. They said, "I bring you good news that will bring great joy to all people," even people 2,000 years later who still celebrate this day. "The Savior, yes, the Messiah, the Lord, has been born today in Bethlehem, the city of David." That's Christmas. That's what it is. Christmas is a celebration of a little baby born in a little town that most of us will never visit. That's what it's about. Now, again, this isn't about shame or judgment, but I have a question for you. If some alien being from another planet, like, where is she going with this? Okay. If some alien from another planet came to Earth on Christmas Day and saw what we do, just looked around at what was happening, our traditions, our bank accounts, our, under the tree, if they looked at the things we said to one another that day, the things we thought that day, the things we did, would they have any idea? Would that alien return to Mars and say, Christmas is about a baby born in Bethlehem? And again, I don't say that to judge, because I love the traditions, I love the fun, I love the festivities, I really do. But I just say it to help us think about whether we could add God to our Christmas list to bring that back into it, to bring Jesus into it for us. I'm not saying stop all the other stuff. I love it all right? I'm just asking us to reevaluate, rethink about it. So why did this baby matter so much that we celebrate his birthday for 2,000 years? Why did he matter? Well, he mattered because Jesus is all about giving. And it's about what he gave specifically that made him worth celebrating all these years later. Jesus is all about giving to people, to us, to me, to you, in a way that benefits us. He gave to make our lives better. And I think this is summed up perfectly by the most famous sentence in all the Bible, written by a man named John. This is the heart of Christmas. He said, for this is how God loved the world. He gave. He gave. This is how God loved the world. He gave. What did he give? He gave his one and only Son. He gave Jesus the very first Christmas gift, the best gift given. Jesus, himself, his flesh and blood. He gave his Son as a way for us to be able to see what he was like. He gave his Son so that everyone who believes in him will not perish but have eternal life. And he wasn't just talking about the afterlife. He was talking about your present life. Because when we believe in Jesus, when we get to know him, and when we start to follow him, our life gets better. Our life is better. We experience things like forgiveness, peace, joy. These are the gifts that are given to us by God through Jesus. These are the gifts of Christmas, the best gifts. We find purpose. We find belonging. We find hope. You came here for some reason. You come to church. You do this whole thing for some reason. That was the gift of Christmas. That's what Jesus gives to us. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. We keep on getting more of this as we follow him more closely. So Christmas is all about Jesus, and Jesus is all about giving. So if we want to give back to God a gift, If we want to give God a Christmas gift, what would that be? That's the question. What would it be? What would be a gift that Jesus could unwrap Christmas morning and we would see his face light up like a kid, that he would have just the purest joy unwrapping? Can we give him that gift? What even is it? What is a gift that he would love? Well, I am convinced that the best gift we can give Jesus is a gift that benefits people. The best gift we can give is a gift that benefits people. We just finished a whole series. If you missed it, you can go back and watch online, called What God Wants Most. He wants us to love people. So the best gift we can give is loving others, serving others. Do you agree? I think that's the best thing we can do. Because when you think of your friends and your family, you give them gifts based on the things they like, right? The things they prioritize, the things they value, the things they care about. Those are the gifts you give. So wouldn't it be the same for God? We'd give a gift of loving other people because that was what he prioritized. That's what mattered most to him and still does. So if you're wondering, does she know what she's talking about? Don't take it from me. I'll actually read you the words of Jesus himself when he said what it looks like to give him gifts. Here's what he said, okay? And this was recorded by a man named Matthew, one of his first followers, writes down these words Jesus said about how we can gift him, okay? Here's what he said. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your home. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me. Now, if you're thinking, how am I supposed to visit Jesus in prison? This doesn't make any sense. How do I give, what does he want? A polo shirt? What do you mean clothes? And that's actually the same exact thing the disciples thought when they heard this. When he said this to his disciples, they're like, what are you talking about? We didn't do any of those things for you. That you must be thinking of somebody else. But Jesus says, I tell you the truth. When you did it to one of the least of these, to someone in need, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me. When you gave to the least of these, you were giving it to me. That's the gift that he asks for. It's the gift he wants, is just for us to be generous with our money, to be generous with our time, our resources. All of it is a gift to him. When you do any of those things for another person, it's like doing it for Jesus. It's like giving him a gift. And it's amazing that he sets it up that way. So, in other words, I think what he's saying is the best gift we can give Jesus is a gift that benefits people, other people, because Christmas is all about Jesus, and Jesus is all about giving. Giving in a way that benefits others without expecting anything in return. Giving to others just simply because we love them. Now, if you're skeptical about this, you're not so sure, you're thinking, why does it seem like God always needs something from me? Why does it seem like church is always asking something of me? It's okay, I get that. But let's remove the spiritual element for a second. Isn't it true, no matter who you are, when you do something good for somebody, doesn't it feel good? When you love someone, not expecting anything back, just because you want to, doesn't it feel good? There's joy that comes from that. There's satisfaction that comes from that. Spiritual stuff aside, God aside, that's just how we are as humans. So I think there's something to this. Even if you're not a follower of Jesus, I encourage you, consider putting God on the list this year. Consider giving God a Christmas gift, just simply because it feels good, so you can have the joy that comes from selflessness. The joy of putting another person before yourself. It's available to all of us. No matter what our story is, no matter what we believe, we can experience that joy of selflessness together. I think we can, especially when we decide to give God our best gift this year. So, some of you heard this. The moment I said give God a Christmas gift, you're like, yeah, why not? I want to give God a Christmas gift. right? I think some of you are like that. I'm kind of like that. Like if someone says something and I connect with it, I'm like, yep, let's do it. I'm down. Okay. I'm literally like down for anything. Now, I want to just encourage you to just pause before you get so excited about that you want to participate in this, that you want to give God a gift. Because it's really important that we pause and we pray and we really ask God and figure out what He wants us to give Him. So today isn't really about giving any gifts. It really isn't. Today is just introducing you to something that I would love for you to pray about and consider as we go into the holiday season. It's just something I want to put on your mind to be praying through and asking the question, God, what do you want? Okay? I want you to give, when you do decide to give God a Christmas gift, I want it to be for the right reason. I want it to be just simply because you love Him. I don't want it to be because you're obligated or because you're like the guy who collects the trash. You're like, let's not talk about what you saw last year. No, he needs to be at the top of the list in like the inner circle category. So I want to talk about a plan with you that we have as a church. We did this last year. Some of you participated or you prayed, you were part of this that we did as a church. We have a plan I want to introduce you to, and all I'm asking is for you to just consider it and pray about it. But what we want to do, all right, our hope is to give all of the funds, all of the money that we plan to give away to our community in 2026. So we want to say to God, we want to be able to say to our community that for Christmas, Christmas 2025, we gave the gift of loving and serving our community in 2026. We want to give, as a church, collectively, together, our entire outreach budget that we will use for loving and serving our community next year. Because we believe that anything that you give to benefit other people, not benefiting local church, not benefiting yourself, anything you give to benefit others will bring a smile to God's face. It is what produces joy in Him is when we choose to put others before ourselves. Before we buy any other person a gift, that we put God at the top. That brings Him such joy. And since Christmas is all about Jesus, and Jesus is all about giving, specifically giving to benefit others, I think the best gift we could give is a gift that benefits our community. So in 2026, we already have our budget ready for 2026, and there's a whole line for community outreach, all right, local, in this community, Long Island. And what we hope to give to God for 2025 for Christmas is $17,000 that we will use right here in our community on Long Island in 2026. Because we love our community. That's the only reason. And we think that if we were to give a gift to God, loving our community would be the thing He wants most. So this money that we hope to give as our best gift at Christmas this year is not to benefit local church. It's to do things that love and serve our community. Now, if you were here with us last year, we had the same goal in mind. We had the goal of $17,000 to use for local missions, and we've used it this year. We've done so much to impact our community. And last year, through our best gifts, we gave $14,392.65. I don't know which one of you gave the 65 cents, but shout out, you count. You did it. But yeah, this is great. We can, as a church, this is worth celebrating. It is, yeah, thank you. Because you chose last Christmas to say yes to giving God a gift that benefits other people, that just strictly goes to benefiting and loving other people. This isn't paying for your bagels and your coffee here at church, all right? This is so that people in our community can have food, have the love of God, and have a church in their town that they know loves them. That's what this gift is about. When we gave our best gift last year, this is what it represented. We gave clothes and supplies to survivors of domestic violence and sex trafficking. That's how we started out 2025, by giving. We stocked a hospital, their closet, with clothes that could be given to survivors of abuse. That was the best gift you gave last year, allowed us to do that this year. We gave, with our best gift, we helped feed families in need through the Grace Care food ministry. This is a food outreach that we've supported all year long because of your best gift in 2024 that you gave at Christmas? We served hundreds of people through our community events. Some of them are sitting here in the room. If you met us at a community event like a street fair or a movie night or a fall fest, that was our best gift. We were actually giving to God, and you benefited. Our community benefited because they came and experienced God's love through that event. We gave God the best gift of loving and serving our community. And all I'm asking, all right, this is what I want to see us do as a church. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Because if Christmas is all about Jesus and Jesus is all about giving, I think this is the best way to celebrate Christmas. The best way to celebrate is to give a gift to God this Christmas, maybe for the first time. Or maybe you've been doing this every year, and you're going to faithfully continue to give him your best gift. This is the great command, that to love other people. That's what Christmas is all about. And it's an opportunity for you to experience the joy of selflessness. When you're selfless, the joy that comes from that. It's the whole spirit of Christmas. So this isn't about what, we could do to grow our church or, have better seats or whatever. It's not about that. This is about being a church that does more than just talk about God's love. We want to be a church that does more than just talk about God's love. We come in here on Sundays and we could talk, your ears off about how much God loves you, and he really does. But the thing is, if we stop at just talking about it, we do nothing. What we need to do is demonstrate it. We need to show it to the community around us. So it's about being a church that actually shows God's love through the things that we choose to do and the gifts that we choose to give them. I want to make sure that Long Island knows we love them, that they are loved by God. So I'm not here to ask you for any specific amount of money towards that $17,000 goal. I'm not even asking you to give anything. Really, what I want for you, again, this is something I want for you, is for you to pray about giving God your best gift. That's it. And here's how we do that. Here is how we give God our best gift. First, we start from the right motivation. Again, we don't do this because we feel like we have to. If that's there at all, just don't do it. Please, just sit back, relax. Don't do it because you think God will love you if you do it, because he loves you anyway. All right? Don't do it because you think you have to, that people will judge you. All right? It's not about that. It's about taking time. That's why we're not doing this today, okay? We're going to give you time, and then together we're going to bring our best gift that comes from the right place. So second part of giving God our best gift is to ask God what he wants. Isn't that the best way to give a gift? You just ask the person, hey, what do you want for Christmas? That's what we're going to do with God. We're going to ask him what he wants. Now, that might seem really overwhelming, intimidating. How do I talk to God about this? We've made a resource for you because we want to help you have that conversation with God. We want to help you pray and process what a Christmas gift for him looks like, okay? And I also want to be clear, isn't it true that a Christmas gift goes above and beyond what you normally do to love and care for people in your life? All right, if you're a parent, think about your kids. Do you put under the Christmas tree the mortgage bill or bottled water, basics? No, that is just part of your responsibility as a parent. So if you're already following Jesus by giving here regularly, thank you. We are so thankful for you. This is about a special Christmas gift just for our community, okay? So we create a resource to help you pray. It's called the 21-Day Christmas Prayer Guide. 21-Day Christmas Prayer Guide. And you get to opt in, say, yes, I want to receive this prayer guide. It's going to be, again, 21 days right in your inbox every morning so that we as a church can pray as we walk through the Christmas season and really ask God what he wants from us this Christmas. You might be surprised what you hear. Or you might not hear anything, but you had 21 days getting an email that you read that made you feel good. Whatever you want to do with this. But you have to opt in to receive this prayer guide because we do not want to spam anybody who doesn't want it. So if you do not want this prayer guide, you will not receive it. But if you would like to receive 21 days of emails from us with a daily encouragement and a guided prayer for you to go throughout Christmas, you could scan this QR code. It will bring up a form. You could put your email in there. You'll receive the 21 days of prayer. There's also a card on the seat in front of you. You could fill that out and turn that in. That's another great way to get on the list. My hope is that everyone would get the email, okay? Because, I know you might hear that and feel like, oh, they're going to harass me about giving. Like, I'm going to just start getting an email to give every day. It's not that, okay? We are not sending you, calling you, hey, so you signed up for the prayer guide. Did you give yet? That's not this. This is literally just us giving you a gift, that you can walk through this at Christmas. Each day will remind you of a gift you've gotten from God, so it'll help to encourage you of the gifts you already have from him. But like I said, I'm not sending it to you unless you sign up for it, so the rest is up to you. But I do hope as a church we would all go through this together. The last part is that we are going to listen to him. We're going to listen to what he says, and we're going to do what he says. We're going to listen, hear what he would like to have as a Christmas gift from us, and we're going to give it. It's as simple as that. We're going to do that on December 14th. December 14th is the day that as a church, we will come with our best gift ready to give. And our prayer and our hope is that we would give $17,000 collectively between all of us who call local church home so that our community, our neighbors, would be loved by us in 2026. That's what the best gift is about, okay? So I'm actually going to invite Michael up, and we're going to share some more just specific details about what happens next with the best gift. Here he is. Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have a note about this in your phone, about what to say right now?
Yes, I do.
There's a note guy. He's a note guy.
I love this idea, okay? I kind of feel weird saying that because it was my idea last year, but I love it. I think it's the best idea that we've ever had as a church. I mean, we had the idea together. We talked about it and brainstormed it because it is completely not for us. It's completely for our community, for other people, and I just think that's so incredible that we get to be a part of that. And it makes me think, imagine if every church did this.
Yeah.
Imagine if every single church on Long Island or in this country or in the world decided, we want to put God on the top of our Christmas shopping list. We want to go above and beyond what we always give, and we want to give God a Christmas gift by giving, by serving and loving our community, the people that God loves most. Our world would change instantly.
Yeah.
Imagine if every church did this. There would be significant change for the better around here, around this world, which would be so
Definitely.
cool. But you did this. Those of you who were with us last year, you got to see a little bit of what that looks like through the $14,000+ that we gave together last year. And it really did change lives. I mean, people were clothed, people were fed as a result of it, people were loved, and people changed the way they saw God, which helped them have a relationship with God, which changes everything for some people. So I'm so proud of this community, and my favorite thing about the best gift is that it's something we get to do together. This isn't a Michael and Emily thing. This isn't all of us together. We can't give $17,000, but we can give something, and then together, when we all give that and give it away, it's just so awesome to be a part of that and to see God work through us, not just me. Yeah, so I'm really excited. So let's talk about what exactly those funds will go to.
Yeah, that's a great question. Where does it? How do we actually use it? We do have a strategy around how we love and serve our community. One way is through our community partners. We quarterly, every 3 months, you hear us talk about this. We tell you about who our quarterly partner is, and we make a monetary donation to help them do the things they're doing. Incredible things in our community. Well, the partners that we worked with this year, we had Long Island Coalition for the Homeless, Grace Care, ECLI Vibes, Agape Meals for Kids, and the Brookhaven Interface Program, which even right now, a great example of a supply drive. We're collecting gift cards right now for Brookhaven Interface. Next month, we're going to be collecting board games, Christmas gifts for the kids at Agape Meals for Kids. So we have these partners that truly depend on us, by the way. I can't tell you how many times I get a call from somebody from one of these partners who will say, Emily, we have this need. Is there anybody in your church who can help with this? They rely on you. They're literally depending on you to meet the needs that they meet in our community. So the other thing we do is our first-time guest gifts. If you're a first-time guest today, make sure you fill out your Connect card, because when you come here for the first time, we let you pick a charity that we donate to in your honor. So we want to invite you into the process of how we support and love our partners. So if you've been new recently and never did that, do it today. We'll send you a card with a you tell you how to choose a charity. We'll donate to them for you. We also have our community events. These are things like the street fair, Farmingville Flicks, the movie nights, Fall Fest, Ice Cream Sunday, my favorite day of the year, Polar Express, which is coming up soon in December. These are events that we put on that don't cost anybody anything, so that they can come and just genuinely just be loved by our community and maybe start to see church differently because they've come to an event like this. So again, when you give your best gift, part of it is creating events and experiences for people to have a new encounter with church and God through these events we do. Yeah. And lastly
some of you encountered us through these events, right?
Yeah, definitely. Some of you are here because you came to one of these events. Community needs, these are kind of like on an ongoing basis. We support school programs. When schools are running different programs and need help, need support, we come alongside them. We provide meals or clothes to anybody who's in need or in crisis. Really, the bottom line is we just like to be able to say yes when someone reaches out to us for help. So part of giving your best gift is allowing us as a church to say yes when someone needs help, when someone comes and says, I'm going through X, Y, and Z, and I could use this. So really, it's the opportunities as they come up when it comes to meeting needs. But this is all part of what we do with the best gift.
So what's the next step for somebody if they want to be involved?
Again, we don't want anybody to do anything before they've prayed about it. So remember to take that, fill out the best gift card. You could drop it in the back or hand it to someone in the lobby. You could sign up online with the QR code. And that's the next step, is literally just on November 24th, you'll start receiving those emails and have 21 days to pray through your best gift. Or don't even pray about the best gift. Just pray in general. Enjoy like setting your mind on the right things this Christmas, like welcoming Jesus into your Christmas.
Well, it's completely possible that you spend some time praying and reflecting on all the gifts that God's given us, because that's what this guide is all about. And you might hear God say, no, don't worry about it. Like, I don't need a gift from you this year. And that's okay. That is you listening to God. But I mean, I just think for me, the goal is 100% participation in the prayer guide. I think that would be amazing if our whole church together decided, of course we want to pray. Of course we want to reflect on how amazing God is and all the gifts that he's given us. So to remind you about this as well, we also created some table tents, is what they're called. They look like this. You can take one home.
Life size. No, just kidding. They're small. They're little.
That would be eye-catching for sure. You put that on your table. Whoa, what the heck?
Anyway, take this home. They're in the lobby. Our team will hand you one that you can put wherever you're going to see it. Maybe it's your kitchen table. Maybe for us, it's our coffee table.
Yeah, we set out our coffee table way more than we do
always on our couch.
Table.
So it'll be there.
Yes, but every time
you'll see it. Take as many as you want. By the way, if you want to put one at work, one at home, whatever.
Yeah, when we see it, it's just going to be a reminder. It could just be a 5-second prayer like, oh, yeah, that's right. God, hey, what do you want for Christmas this year, God? Like, speak to me about what you want for Christmas and what am I going to give for my best gift? So this is happening on December 14th.
December 14th is the day to be here as we give. And even if you decide and you don't feel that God is asking you to give him a Christmas gift this year, that's fine. We still want you to be here to celebrate as we do as a church together give our best gift that day.
Okay, so that can be a little calculated. So I did the math. And I'm leading to a question here. So I figured if there's 300 adults who call local church home, if God told every single adult to give $60 as their best gift, that's what it would take to reach $17,000. So he's going to tell some people to give way more than that. He's going to tell some people to give less than that, and that's okay. But if it worked out that way, where everybody gave $60, or let's say everybody gave $70, and we raise more, or we give more than the $17,000, what happens to those extra funds?
Great question. So we have in our budget not just the $17,000 that we use in this community, but we also have money that we use globally to help start churches and serve people all over the globe. So like Particularly, you've heard us talk about Eden Church in Brazil. In one of the most impoverished regions of Brazil, on the Amazon River, we help start a church there. And we actually every quarter give money to help Eden Church operate and provide really practical, desperately needed resources to this community in
Yeah.
Jacaraquara, Brazil. We have other partners globally. We also have churches right here on Long Island we help support. We want to help start churches.
Yeah.
We just celebrated a year that we helped start Vine Hill Church in Kansas City. We helped start Represent Church in Mastic Beach. So we like to get involved in what God is doing in the form of like church planting and global outreach as well. So that's where the excess will get allocated.
Filtered through that.
Yep.
Yes. Awesome. That's so cool. All right.
Or
So
whatever, we give more to the community.
Yeah,
You know?
awesome.
Let's see what God's going to do. I'm excited.
yeah, me too. So with all this being said, if there's a party that's like, that sounds great, but so undoable. Like if you're in a position right now where you're like, finances are tight, I barely have enough to just survive. You're living on Long Island, so you have to basically work just to survive here. I know it's really tough. If that's you, I want you to know that we understand that, we get that, and I want to make sure that you know not to miss next week, because next week we're going to start a new series that I think could be really helpful and really game-changing for you if you're struggling financially, like many people do, especially on Long Island. The series is called If God Was Your Financial Advisor, and it's going to be 3 of the most practical money management tips you will ever hear in a church. I'm going to break it down as practically as I can, and these are 3 things that we've learned from God that have completely changed our finances, and really this past year too has been so huge for us just by applying these 3 things that we're going to talk about over the next couple of weeks. So don't miss this next series. The start of it's next week. Don't miss it, because it could completely change your Christmas this year too.
Yeah,
so
it could.
yeah.
All right, do you want to pray?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much, God. Thank you so much for the many gifts that you continue to give us, God. But specifically, I want to thank you for the gift of your son, Jesus. Thank you so much that through Jesus, we have been given things like grace and love and compassion and forgiveness of sins, God. Thank you so much that because of Jesus, we have one of the best gifts of all, and that is the ability to have a personal relationship with our Creator. God, thank you for all that brings with it, like joy and purpose and peace. And God, because of all these gifts you've given us, would you help us to just know what we can do this Christmas season to give you a gift back by serving and loving our community? Would you give us the wisdom to know what to do with what we're praying through and what we're talking about? And God, would you give us the courage to actually do it? For some of us, this may be the first time we ever even considered something like this. But God, would you give us the courage to do it? And as we follow you in this, as we listen to what you say, as we ask you what you want, and you listen to what you say, and then we do it, God, I pray, Father, that other people would be inspired, other people would be helped, needs would be met, this community would be loved, and God, that you would be honored through it. And I pray this in the matchless name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Well, hey, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with us. And before you go, I would love for you to consider engaging with local church in 3 additional ways. The first is to fill out a Connect card. No matter where you are in the world, we would love for you to do this. It'll only take you about 30 seconds, and it's just an easy way for us to get to know you a bit more and to serve you better, and for you to get to know us a little better as well. Just click the link in the description to get started. The second way that you can engage with local church is by visiting us in person. If you're local and you don't regularly participate in a church community, we would love to invite you to join us every Sunday. Resources like this can do a lot for our faith personally, but Jesus teaches that God does something unique for our faith when we choose to gather corporately. Click the link in the description to plan your visit. And finally, if you've been positively impacted by local church in any way, would you consider making a tax-deductible donation? Content like this, along with everything that goes on around here, is only made possible by the generosity of people just like you. You can click the link in the description or visit localchurchli.com/give. So, once again, thank you so much. We hope that you found this content helpful and inspiring, and we're so honored to be a part of your faith journey.